Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Houston Sports Talk back in the video day. And today the Houston Texans assigned Danielle Hunter, 5-time Pro Bowler, to a contract extension. We knew this was coming. It was reported that the Texans wanted, and both Danielle Hunter wanted to sign a contract extension. And I think it was kind of, very predictable that we knew this was happening when Titus Howard restructured his contract today, and that freed up almost $12 million in cap space. Honestly, because when that happened, when it was announced the Texans restructured Titus Howard's contract, did a massive restructure on his contract, the first thing I started seeing Texans fans saying on Twitter, okay, Danielle Hunter's contract extension is coming. But then the Texans ended up signing Cam Robinson, gave him $14 million or $12.5 million up to $14.5 million. I was thinking, okay, a part of me thinks that maybe you're not going to see that Hunter extension happen right now, since you just saw this deal happen of giving Cam Robinson $12.5 million. That is up to $14.5 million. But now Danielle Hunter still gets his contract extension, getting a 1-year, $35 million contract extension to make him the second highest paid defensive end in the National Football League. Last season, his first season as a Houston Texan, played 17 games, 17 starts, 3 passes defense, 1 forced fumble, 12 sacks, 46 tackles, 17 tackles for loss. Had a great season for this Houston Texans team. Keep in mind, he's also, it's this season, it's a year for him where he's like, now he's not the number one guy in the defensive end room. He's actually the number 2 guy compared to, playing with Will Anderson. 2023, it was a Pro Bowler with Minnesota, 17 games, 17 starts, 2 passes defense, 4 forced fumbles, 16.5 sacks, 83 tackles, 23 tackles for loss. So sure, it wasn't as good of a season as it was in 2023 for Hunter, but he's on a way better defensive line than he was last season. In 2020, this Texans defensive line in 2024 is a lot better than what the Vikings was in 2023. I'm not saying they had a bad offensive line in 2023 because it was pretty solid, but Texans, you got Will Anderson, so Hunter's not really. It's a 1A. I'm not going to say. I think they're both great. I don't know if I would say one's better than the other. I think it's a 1A, 1B kind of thing. Kind of like how you saw when the extensions with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins happened the other day, and in their interview, T. Higgins was asked about being the wide receiver too, and Jamar Chase stops it and he says, "No, I'm 1A and he's 1B. There's not a 1 and 2." That's what I feel like it's like with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. But Will Anderson's the guy who's going to see, the attention of getting the sacks and but you got other guys. You got other guys in this defensive line. This is a stacked defensive line to the point where you don't need Will Anderson to get 17 sacks in a season. And he was insane in 2023. I hope he could have 16.5 sacks next season. I don't think it happens because you're on a defensive line that has Will Anderson, Danico Autry, Sheldon Rankins is back. You got, you got other guys in the. Who else am I missing? Derek Barnett is now back. They brought in, I forgot his name, from Chicago. They brought in, a really good defensive end from Chicago who's really good and is really good at getting sacks. So, look, you don't need Hunter to go out there and get 17 sacks. As long as he's out there, he's bringing pressure to the opposing quarterback, and he's in at least double-digit sacks like he was last season with getting 12 sacks with this Texans defense. I think that's just fine for this Texans team. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this extension for the Houston Texans in the comment section, and peace out.